Welcome to part 4 of Clickbank's affiliate training series. In this video, we're going to talk about how to actually go about promoting products in a way that's going to be successful and that is actually going to convert well and make you the kind of money that you want to make to be successful as a Clickbank affiliate. So before you start promoting stuff, kind of an overarching key of what to promote and how to go about it is to really only promote what you believe in. You want to get access first, so you can either buy the product or you can ask the vendor for a review copy. Most vendors, if they care about their affiliates and they're going to be reputable and care about customer service, they'll provide you with a review copy. You need to provide them with good information about why it would be a good idea for them to give you one. So let them know, what your site is, that you have a platform. That's going to be key, and how you plan to promote it, and they're going to be a lot more likely to provide you with a copy. If you reach out to them and you don't hear anything back, it may be a good sign that they're a vendor that you might not want to promote anyway, because it seems like maybe they don't take customer service or affiliate management all that seriously. So some vendors may say no, and if that's the case, then it's up to you to decide whether you want to pay for the product so that you can check it out and read through it, or whether you want to just move on and maybe promote a different product. But I absolutely recommend getting access first, and the reasons are because you want to try to get results yourself, if possible. In some cases it may not be necessary, and we'll talk about that later. But when you're writing reviews or you're saying things about a product, it's going to be much more believable and much more useful and compelling to your audience if you can actually say what you personally think about it and provide any results that you got. That's going to go a long way to making the case for them buying the product. Trying to get results yourself can also be used for content. It can be used for bonuses, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So it's always a good idea to try to check out the product first. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to compete with other affiliates who have tried the product and have useful things to say about it. So there are a lot of different ways that you can promote, and there are several ways to promote products that we don't list here that don't require a platform. But since we're talking about the sort of sustainable long-term practice of building a platform and promoting products that way, these are the options that we're going to cover. So banner ads, promotions to your list or through social media, reviews, bonuses, a recommended page, and content referrals. So banner ads are kind of the easiest way to go when you want to promote products, but typically they're not all that effective, just because people have what's called banner blindness. Now that people have been on the internet for so long, they've sort of trained themselves to ignore advertisements. So this isn't necessarily the way to go unless you don't promote other ways, and you just want the easiest, most passive route. So for these banners, you can get the creatives usually from the vendor's affiliate page, or you can create your own. You should ask the vendor's permission before you start creating ads and graphics on their behalf, or they may get upset with that and potentially block you as an affiliate. If they're okay with it and you want to do it, you could get an ad created for as little as $5 on the website Fiverr.com. That's Fiverr with 2 R's. The ads need to be relevant to the audience, but they also need to pop and stand out visually so that they don't get ignored by someone who's scrolling down your blog or not seeing that advertisement. So if you are going to use banners, it's best if you sort of tie it into other promotional methods that you're doing, or showing ways that the banners are going to add value. So this is an example. This is again from Pat Flynn's website, smartpassiveincome.com. He's promoting a product, and you can see on it that he is offering a bonus if you buy through his link, which is great. He's showing that he's a featured speaker at an event. Actually 2 different events, and so he's got his face and his name on there. So it makes it a lot more compelling to his audience since they're already part of his tribe and want to support him. Next up is in-content referrals. So this would be where you would briefly mention a product in your content, but you're not providing a full review. So some examples here might be, this is the official unveiling of my new blog design. It's built on this premium super duper WordPress theme, and you include an affiliate link there. I'm excited to report I finally got the 18-pack abs I've always wanted, and it was easier than I thought. I just did a workout for 22 hours a day and piece of cake. And then finally, figuring out how to tie a certain fly for the first time can be pretty tricky. So here's a guide that you can use to learn how to do that. It helped me when I was getting started. So you can include your affiliate links in the content there. One important thing to note is that the FTC guidelines require that if you are doing affiliate promotions on your website, which obviously that's what we're talking about, you need to disclaim that. And there are a number of different ways you can do it, but I would just look up, do a Google search for FTC affiliate disclaimer, and you'll find some different options. There are WordPress plugins that can do it. There's sample text that you can put on your website. You could make a little disclaimer at the end of the post. And some people, to be extra transparent and to show their audience that they are trustworthy, they will actually note right there next to the link that it is an affiliate link and say, if you buy this, I get a small cut of the sale, but I'd appreciate you supporting me. So there are a lot of different ways that you can do it. It's really up to you what makes sense with your website. So if you are going to do in-content referrals like this, a tip I would offer is to teach a skill or share an outcome that you've gotten and then recommend the product to help people who want to do that. A lot of people are looking for shortcuts or guides that kind of hold their hand and walk them through how to accomplish something. So that's a great way to tie in to something that you've already been talking about. So then next up is reviews, which are a more full-length recommendation of a product where you're actually specifically calling it out and saying, I'm going to talk about this particular product and what I think about it. So the great thing about these is that they can really help pre-sell the product. If your audience trusts you and listens to what you have to say and you make a really compelling case for why you think it's a good product, in a lot of cases they won't even really need to be sold on the sales page at that point. They'll be ready to buy based on your recommendation. So if you are writing a review, you want to be honest, you want to be transparent, and very specific. Those are going to be the keys to a successful review. So you want to cover both the good and the bad about a product. If everything you say about it is good and there's nothing wrong with it, it's absolutely perfect, that's going to seem a little suspicious to people and not be as believable as if you just say, yeah, this product's great, but it only comes in videos, and so if you like to read, it's maybe not the right product for you. Or I felt like certain parts of it were a little long-winded, but overall the content was really good. Another example of that is to talk about who it's right for and who it's not. So if it's a product that's good for beginners, say that. You want to tell people who should be buying this thing. Don't make it sound like it's the right product for everyone, because if some of your audience buys it and it's a bad fit for them, then they're going to be soured on the whole thing and not trust your recommendation as much the next time around. So say, this is good for beginners, but if you're pretty advanced, then you're not going to get much out of it, or vice versa. This is really only for pretty advanced, established people, and if you're a beginner, you're probably going to get a little bit lost in this. As I mentioned earlier, share your specific results if you can, and if the product's not right for you to get results out of, tie it back to your own experience. So for example, if you're already a marathon runner and you are writing a blog about how to take up distance running, you're not going to get results from a beginner-oriented product. There'd really be no point in you trying to do it since you are already an expert on it. But what you could say is, I I wish I would have had this product when I was just starting out, because it teaches how to overcome these common obstacles that people run into, no pun intended, when they're starting to take up distance running. And so this guide can really help you if you're just starting out and you're looking to overcome these obstacles. It would have really helped me because I struggled with it. Another thing is that you can do reviews in multiple different formats. So you could do text, you could do video, audio, you can write reviews in emails and send them to your list. So there are a lot of different ways that you can create reviews. And then you want to combine reviews with bonuses for the maximum effect. And this is a little bit of an advanced technique, but it can work extremely well. So on the right, you'll see a review where it's a review of the product Opt-in Skin, and then the author Pat Flynn offers a bonus with it, and the bonus is that you basically get a few more designs that he had custom created by a designer to go along with it. And that's a great way to do it, which we'll talk about in just a second. Let's jump right into bonuses. The great thing about bonuses and why they work so well combining them with other promotional methods is that it adds more value to the audience and the customer, and it also helps you as the affiliate protect your commission and your sale. So if someone is thinking about the product but they're not entirely sure, a good bonus can really put the value over the top for them and get them to go ahead and buy it now. Especially if there's some kind of time limitation on the bonus where you say, I'm offering a bonus for the next week, or for the first 100 people that buy the product through my link, they'll get this special bonus. So that's a great way to do it. It makes your audience love you even more. If you're giving them something above and beyond just a useful, great product that you would recommend, that makes you look like a hero, like we were talking about in the last video. It protects your commission because typically the way that bonuses work is that you can say, buy the product through my link and then forward me the receipt email that you got from it, so that you can tie it back to your reporting and affiliate tracking and make sure that the sale did actually come through your link. You can match the time on it and things like that to make sure that it was actually bought through your link. And then it can also add even more value to the product. It makes an already good product even better. So it helps your readers or your audience achieve their goals. So that's a win all around. That makes you look good. It makes your audience feel great. It makes them appreciate you. And in a lot of cases, it can actually make you look really good to the vendor as well, because you're helping them make the buyers happy. So some ideas for things that you could offer for bonuses would be your kind of personalized step-by-step guide to using the product. So obviously the vendor is going to have written it up the way that they see it, but it may be that you would take a slightly different approach, or the way that you would apply it to your particular audience or business is going to be a little bit different. So that's a great way that you can tie it directly to your audience and make sure it's really relevant to them. People love tip sheets. So if it's a 100-page ebook, breaking it down into a 3-page tip sheet of all the steps that they need to take can be really helpful. Similarly, do a blueprint. Here's the step-by-step process. Q&As with the vendor, or you answering what you would consider to be the frequently asked questions about it, to help people overcome problems with it, or how to get more out of the product. Doing an interview with the vendor where you ask them questions and get more in depth with them. Doing add-ons. So if it's a diet product, or maybe it's a paleo cookbook or something like that, you could even add more recipes. So you're giving an additional 20 paleo recipes if they buy the cookbook through your link. Or WordPress themes that go with a plugin or something like that. Videos, so you do video training that adds on to the value of the product. PDFs that help out with aspects of the product. And in some cases, vendors will actually create bonuses for their own product that they will give to affiliates to give away. So if you sign up to the vendor's affiliate mailing list, They may even provide you with bonuses that you can then take and offer to your audience. So that's by far the easiest way to do it, although it's maybe not quite as relevant as ones that you would come up with yourself. So next up is a recommended resources page. So this is basically where you kind of have a bunch of mini reviews in one place, so that if someone really likes you and really trusts what you have to say, and they think, man, I really like this person's website, or I'd love to hear what their favorite books on paleo diet are. You can have them all in one place, and you can point people to them. You can have them in your navigation menu, and then they can go and see what you recommend and have these be affiliate links. So this is an example from David Siteman Garland, who runs the very popular web show, podcast, blog called The Rise to the Top. So he's got his recommended products, and as you can see, it's very customized and personally tailored. So he talks specifically about what he likes about products. You can see in the second paragraph that it's an affiliate disclaimer, so he's letting people know right up front, if you buy through these links, I may get a credit on the sale, and I appreciate it. It helps support the show, it helps support what I'm doing, so he's right up front about it. This is another example. This is from the Nerd Fitness site that I showed you earlier, but basically he's recommending a few different resources that he likes. Chris Guillebeau's Unconventional Guides, the AWeber email service. So it's an easy way to recommend stuff that your audience might be interested in for themselves. Next up is promotions to your list. So this is still going to be the most reliable and profitable method. Email still works. It's kind of old-fashioned by now. It's not as exciting as some of the social media platforms or that kind of thing, but the deliverability on email is still extremely high. It's really likely that people are actually going to see it if they like your content and read your emails. So this is still a great way to do it. So you're going to want to use sort of sales copy or pre-sales copy similar to a pitch page. So highlight the benefits that your audience is going to get from the product rather than the features. So don't talk about it's a 100-page ebook or it teaches these 4 specific things. Talk about what benefit people are going to get out of that. Personalize your recommendation, just like on the earlier ways of promoting products. Make it clear that this is what you have to say about it, and it's not just some sample text that the vendor provided. That's going to make it a lot more compelling, and your audience is going to trust it a lot more. And if you can, include your results or results of other buyers that bought it and used it. And then you can combine this with other methods. So, you can do email reviews, or you can email, talk about a product, and mention that you're giving away a bonus. So it's great when it's combined with other methods. Plain text emails work fine for this. You don't need to be super fancy and include banner graphics or that kind of thing. Some of the most successful ads out there are just using plain text emails. So that's a great way to do it. So above all, when you're promoting products, this is kind of the last word of what you need to think about. And it's not just about promoting the products, it's about how you go about building your platform and growing your audience, is to respect your audience. Think of them as actual people with actual needs and goals and fears and desires, and make sure that everything you do in the content that you're creating, in the way you're talking to them, in the products that you're promoting to them, really respects that and is trying to do the best that you can for your audience, because that's going to be what gets people trusting you and buying when you promote things. So always keep that in mind. So that's it for this training series. Thanks for watching, and best of luck in your affiliate business.